I never heard much good about it.
No.
Now, was good people a phrase that people used, or did they call them fairies? Yeah. And when did you first start hearing stories about them? When you were about that big? When you were about the size of your stuff? Yeah. Hubert, what do you remember about your early life? People telling you about the fairies growing up.
I remember all the usual things, like for example, because back in Harbour, Maine, we happen to have fairy hills, three of them. And it's really interesting that if you were to visit there, all the surrounding area is covered with thick trees, foliage, and whatnot. Everything grows on these hills, on these three hills, three little humps. And as I say, growing up, you hear all the things, you hear stories of people being taken and brought back, you hear stories of people being caught on the other side of the stile, no stile, and not being able to get over, and they'd be there all night or all day. You hear stories like my mother, in her own personal case. When we were moving from our new house, from the old house into our new house, my mother, I thought she was joking first, and she said, we can't move in May. And I laughed and said, why not? Because she said, if you move in May, you bring in the fairies with you, and you've got them. And I didn't move in May. I mean, that's not, well, I'll tell you, it wasn't a joke. This woman was prepared to die on the ramparts. Moving in May, you know. So you hear, we spent time, a bunch of us when we were kids, maybe 11, 12, looking for a fairy ring at one point. And there was a house built across a path. All these things you've heard, we had them. We had one thing. Shall I stop? Now, we had one phenomenon, if you will, that didn't seem to be referred to. You hear the term in the fairies in the sense of you get in mesmerized in the woods and whatnot. But we use that term in a slightly different way. A person who's in the fairies was actually in touch with the fairies, in communication and part of them. And we had one such man in Harbour, Maine, back probably 3 generations ago. And there are numerous stories about him, all of them, of course, true. I mean, you may laugh if you like, and I assure you, you shouldn't laugh too hard, because they could be listening. We had a story of this man, we'll call him Martin, for sake of a name. And these are the days when people went to Labrador. And Martin went to the Labrador. And on this particular night, he left to go outside the camp and the tilt or whatever. And he's gone all night. And he came back the next morning, and people said, where have you been? He said, I was home, Harbour, Maine. And they, of course, laughed. And